Hello everyone. In today's session, we'll be learning a problem on a pyramid. So in the previous sessions, we have learned how to solve prisms. So here we'll see how to solve a pentagonal pyramid first of all. Okay. So you know what is the difference between a prism and pentagon pyramid by the time. So we'll straight away go into the problem. So it says a pentagonal pyramid 25 mm sides of base and 50 mm axis length rests on HP on one of its corners of the base such that two base edges containing the corner on which it rests make equal inclinations with HP. Draw the projections of the pyramid when the axis of the pyramid is inclined to HP and HP at 40 degrees and appears to be inclined to VP at 45 degrees. As I told, let us divide this problem into three segments here. So is it edge condition or corner condition? So if I read the question, it says rests on HP on one of its corners of the base. Okay, so it should be a corner condition. So corner should be towards the right of the observer. Next, what is inclined to HP? Axis of the pyramid is inclined to HP at 40 degrees and appears to be inclined to VP at 45 degrees. So the same axis is inclined to VP at 45 degrees. Okay, so it should be a beta angle, but instead he has given me appears to be inclined. So the given angle itself is beta angle. You did not find out beta angle for this particular case. Okay, so now since we have understood the problem, so we'll straight away solve this and obtain the front and top views. So let's draw a pentagon first. You can draw it here. So solving pentagonal pyramid is easy. In fact, drawing any pyramid is easy because you don't have top surface here. So you know that the for a pyramid the apex meets. Okay, so all the edges meets at the apex. So you get a slant edge, not the straight edges here. Okay, so first let me draw a pentagonal lamina here. Taking this as the point. So the length given here is 25, 10, 20 and 25. So I'll place the compass here, mark 72 again here. So extend the line. So again extend the line here. Now measure 25. Cut an arc on either side of the line. Also cut an arc to obtain the fifth point here. Okay, now let me name this. See, when I see from the top, I know that this since it is a pyramid, you don't have top surface, so you have only bottom surface and the apex. Okay, apex is named by O1. So if I name this, so let me start naming from here. A, B, C, D and E here. Okay, right? So you need not name it as A1, B1 because the top surface is merged now. Okay, to single point, that is apex. So you need to find out this center point. Okay, and when I see from the top the pyramid, the slant edges are visible. The slant edges are visible. So in the top view, you have to draw the slant edges, which is merging to the center. Okay, that gives me the center. So how do I do this? So take this corner, any one of the corner, start joining to the opposite midpoint of the line. Take this corner, join to the opposite midpoint of the line. So I am using perpendicular method here. So since I found out the center, I can straight away join all the lines here. So even these slant edges are visible. If you can see the pyramid, that is the reason why I am joining this by a visible line. Okay, these edges are visible. The slant edges, I call those as slant edges. So the top apex is O1 and the bottom surface here you have O as the axis line. Okay, I'll have to dimension this first. It is 25, right? So now I have to project it upwards. So projecting the front view or obtaining the front view is very much easy for a pentagonal prism or sorry, pyramid. Okay, so I have projected all the points to XY line. Along with O, I have to project. Till here I am going to project. Okay, so now let me project the front view here. So first the height given here is 50 mm. Okay, so 50. So I'm going to draw a center line here. 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. So this is 50. So 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. So now join all the edges here, this corners here, to this particular apex. Okay, so I'm projecting all the points here. And this all the slant edges. And also darken the bottom surface. Now dimension this. So it is 50 mm. 50. Okay, now let us name this. So I know that this becomes O1 dash, O1 dash, because I have named the top surface as O1. So bottom surface as A, B, C, D, E and O. So this becomes A dash in bracket E dash. I hope you know how to name this. If I look in this direction, A, B, C are visible. So A, B, C should be visible at the bottom. D and E are invisible. So here it is again O dash is hidden, right? So next B dash, D dash in bracket and C dash. I have named it in a simple way. Okay, so when you take out your primer, the naming would be different, but I follow one conventional method or convenient method for me to make it simple. Okay, right. So next, what is given here? So you should be very careful in drawing the pentagon or pyramids here. So now these edges, now the axis is inclined. When I incline the axis, these edges are not parallel to this axis, so I cannot incline this now. In the prisms I would have inclined these straight edges, okay, instead of axis line. But here, how to do this? Because when I incline the axis line and obtain all these points here, these 2 points will be below XY line. That should not happen. So in order to avoid that, what we'll do is, so we will not incline this axis line, we'll incline this base edge. So you should be very careful in inclining the base edge, because for this the inclination is 40. What about for this? It is, since this base edge is perpendicular to this axis line, it should be 90 minus 40. That should be the angle here. Okay, so 90 minus 40 gives me 50. So measure 50. This is one more convenient method. So in the next problem we'll see, we'll solve this in a different way. Okay, so that you'll understand 2 methods to find out the angle. So in the next problem we'll see how to obtain this, okay, in a different way. So here what we'll do is we'll take 50 degree, 50. So I'm drawing the edge here, that's all. Okay, so now since I've placed C here, measure C to A, cut an arc. Also obtain all the points. So I've obtained all the points. So join this by a dark line here. Also name this, so I can copy down the same naming here. So here you get somewhere C dash, B dash, D dash, O dash, and A dash, E dash. Okay, so now obtain the point O1 dash here. That completes the problem. I mean second condition, front view. Okay, so C dash to O dash. So I'm drawing an arc. Next, A dash to O dash. Right. So now name this as O1 dash and join all the points. Right, so I've obtained the front view here in the second condition. Now what was inclined here to HP? Axis was inclined. So what we'll do is we'll extend this line and check the angle. Okay, we'll extend this line and check the angle here. So when we measure the angle here, this angle is 40 degrees. You can cross verify, it will be 40 degrees. So since this was 50 I had taken, this should be 40 degrees. Why? Because this line is perpendicular. So this line is perpendicular. So I had taken this as 50. So this is 90. 90 minus 50 gives me 40 degrees. Okay, so that is how it is. Right. So now to obtain the top view, if I look in this direction, we have to look in this direction. So which is the farthest point here? C dash is the farthest point. So line joining, any line joining C dash is hidden. It is same. Okay, only in square pyramid it changes, so that I'll explain you later. So this, when I see rest everything remains as you have done in the prisms. Okay, when I look in this direction, the farthest point is C. It might be a corner or it might be edge. So since I've taken corner here, a corner is resting on HP, corner is resting on XY line. If I take edge towards right, edge will be inclined here, correct? So you have to understand, when I take edge here, I am rotating this way, so here edge should be inclined. So for this condition, whatever the condition that they have given, edge or corner condition, this will be correct. The only thing is, when they give you, if you have taken edge towards left, you can understand carefully, if you have taken edge towards left, you have to tilt in this direction, so that edge will be here. Even that is correct. Okay, but what we do is we take towards right and you get a corner here. So you can cross verify in every stage here. So if I have taken the corner towards right, there should be corner here. So even here, when the third condition, corner should be on XY line. So that is how it is. So, okay, right. So we'll move to the next step now. So simply project downwards on the bottom surface first. So project A, next go for B, as I told, project then and there itself. Next project C, next project D, next project E. Okay, also project O here, right? So now, since you have only top surface, only one point here, apex, so project it, also extend this line, right? So let us now name this and then continue. So this should be A, this should be A, B, C, D, and this should be E. Okay, now this point is O, this point is O1. Now as I told, the lines, any line joining this C here is hidden. So any corner has 3 edges. So you know, by the time you must be knowing, any corner has 3 edges. So which are those? So from B to C is hidden, from B to C is hidden, C to D is hidden, and which is the one more edge here, which is C to O1, that is the slant edge. Okay, in prism it was a straight edge, now it is a slant edge. Rest all the lines are visible. Okay, let me connect from A to B. I'll go with the chronological order, then it will be easy for me. A to B, B to C is connected, C to D is also connected, D to E, D to E, and E to A. If you think it is complete, no, it is wrong, right? So also I have to join the slant edges. Okay, let me start with A to O1. A to O1 is visible because only those 3 lines are hidden, rest everything is visible. Now you can also cross verify that this is a hidden line, this is a visible line. No 2 visible line crosses each other. Okay, no 2 visible lines. So visible line cannot cross each other. So here it has connected at this point. So wherever you see, wherever you see, you do not find any visible lines crossing each other, right? Next, O to B, O to C is already connected, O to D, now O to E, right? So this is how you name it. Okay, so now in brackets C, because that junction is hidden. So when I look from the top, even this O is invisible, so I have to also join write this in bracket, right? So from O to O1 it is axis line, so from here to here it should become axis. Okay, this is how you need to draw an axis line, eccentrically written to make you understand. Okay, or if you want to draw it, here you have to draw an axis line. Okay, you have to draw an axis line over there, right? So that completes the second condition. Let us move on to the third one now. It is very much easy now. What is given? Axis appears to be, says appears to be inclined to VP at 45 degrees. So what we'll do is, so we'll take a 45-degree line. So by the time you must be knowing how to take 45-degree line, so take this any one of this point here, join the diagonal and keep extending the line here. Okay, so you get 45-degree line here. That should definitely be 45 degree. Now simply project this here. That completes the third condition, top view here. So just copying it, that's all. So what we'll do is, first we'll take up O1 and O1 and O. Okay, somewhere I'm going to place O1. So from here I've taken it as O. Okay, so let us name this O1 and this becomes O. Now if you have 2 points, the third one is easy to find out. Okay, right, we'll go with the chronological order. So O to A, sorry, O1 to A, I mean to say O1 to A. O1 to E is also same. So O1 to E. Next O to E will be same as O to A. Okay, so it comes somewhere here and here. Okay, so now O to E, let me measure once again. O to E, which will be same as O to A. Okay, I get exactly at the edge here. Next, let me take O to B, which will be same as O to D also. Okay, so O to D and O to B. Next, let me take from O to B, which will be same as O to D. So let me cut an arc here. Okay, so I'm getting at different positions, so no worries. Right, so rest of the lines you can erase it off. Next, O to C, so I can take it as O1 to C here and I can cut an arc. So before joining, first name it, will be easy for you. So this is in bracket O. When I rotate this way, A comes here, so A is visible, B, C, D and E. So now let us join this. A to B, B to C is hidden, C to D is hidden, D to E is visible. O to C is hidden. Rest all the lines are visible. I'm just replicating the second condition, top view, that's all. Okay, I'm just replicating this. So now I'm drawing the axis line here. Okay, right, so this is the top view, that how you obtain. Now let us see how do we get this front view here. So I hope it is very much easy for you. You do not have any top surface, so it takes very less time to complete this. So A is exactly on this line, so project this A. Next, go for B, So B, C, let me project C is on XY line. So next D is somewhere here, E here, okay. Also project O, comes slightly eccentric to some line here, okay. So next project O, okay, let us name this. So A is here, so B, now it is C, it is D over here, it is E here, O and O1, okay. So I have not written anything in bracket now. So now again it is saying, since I have rotated this in such a way that the bottom surface is completely nearer to the observer, observer stands here. Since the bottom surface is completely nearer to the observer, visible to the observer, so make the bottom surface completely visible, okay. So A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E, E to A, okay. Next, you need to connect this outer boundary by a visible line. That was how we had solved, okay. So now before going to that, before solving this in pyramids, we'll just skip this step now. We will not connect this by a boundary line. Yes, of course, if you can do that using a boundary line also, okay. So what we'll do is, before that, we'll see any line, any slant edge that is passing inside this pentagonal lamina, okay. So B to O is not passing inside this lamina, so I'll darken this, okay. So I've just eliminated the outer boundary method. When I say outer boundary, again this has to be connected and this has to be connected, which is correct, but I follow a different method here. So let me take A to O, which is not passing inside this, lamina, so this should be visible, okay. Let me take C here, so O to C. Is this line passing inside this lamina? Yes, it is passing here. So as I told, two visible lines cannot overlap, so this has to be hidden. So I join this by a hidden line, right? Next we'll go for D. D is passing inside this lamina, so it should be a hidden line. Again, you can go back and see, stick on to the basics. You cannot draw a visible line because it crosses this line. Next, E to O. When I take E to O, this line definitely it will not pass inside this lamina, so I'll draw this by a visible line. Okay, this is a simple method to follow. Now bottom surface is completely visible. I need not draw anything in write anything in bracket here. Apex is always visible in whichever way you rotate. O is visible, apex is visible. So here you don't have any hidden points here. You have hidden lines, not points. Okay, these two are hidden now. Right, this completes the problem. So solving pyramid is very much easy. So in the next session we'll be seeing how to solve a hexagonal pyramid, hexagonal prism, and also a square pyramid. Okay, so I hope this is very much useful for you, okay, to solve. Thank you so much.